Hello, everyone. This is chapter 3, which is called Goodbye. The story is called Coming Home to You. If you viewers are interested in listening to the story and have just recently heard of it and you're listening to this right now, I suggest you either go back to the summary, which is also part of chapter 2, or go to chapter 1 because you will understand what's happening, but it's important to know what has happened in chapter 1, 2, and 3. So I will begin. It was a wild party. People were everywhere, from the basement all the way up to Carolyn's bedroom. Everybody I knew was there, from Ben Starch to the nerdy 7th grader to Hilda Swanks, the coolest kid in school. Carolyn had overdone herself this time. All these people just for a good pie party? It's just too much. I wish she hadn't made a big deal of me moving to 2.5 days away. Why couldn't she just leave it? Yeah, sure. I'm sad to leave, but this is too much for me to handle. I wish she hadn't invited everyone I knew. I was seated on the couch in the living room beside my boyfriend Forrest and Carolyn. We were talking to some friends from our school group. There was Kayla, Nadia, Sky, Bishop, and Karen. We were what you called a tight group. We were really close and did mostly everything together. We weren't all together, though. That was just me and Forrest. Karen did have a boyfriend, but I never met him. But she had told me so many wonderful things about him. I could tell they were perfect for each other. We started talking about all the good times we shared at the beach and the shopping malls, even at our school trip to Florida for a month. We had done so many wonderful things there. We went shopping to the Disney market, we went to the night cafe, and we visited Epcot in the Animal Kingdom. There were too many memories to forget. They were all so beautiful. Remember the time Forrest tried to feed the seagull a rock, Carolyn said. Then the seagull had to teach him a lesson? Everyone laughed. Yeah, Sky agreed. And Forrest had to hide behind Evelyn because the seagulls were scared of her. And the bishop tried to kill it with a rock, Karen added in. Then he brought his ski girlfriends to the beach, who chased us off the beach. Yeah, I agreed. That was funny. Wasn't that the last time we went to the beach? Forrest looked at me and smiled deeply. Yeah, I think so. Everyone went silent for a minute. They must have been sad or something. I'm really gonna miss you, Nadia finally said. So am I, Sky murmured. Me too, Karen threw in. Me 3, said Kayla. So we bought you something, Carolyn added. My eyes grew wide as I looked around to see my friends, who looked like they were gonna cry. Then suddenly, Forrest reached towards Bishop, who held a tight blue box. I took it from Forrest, who put his hands around my waist as I opened it. Inside was a golden frame, with a picture of us all. Karen, Bishop, Nadia, Kayla, Carolyn, Sky, Forrest, and me. We were sitting on the brick wall with our arms around each other, facing towards the camera, and we were smiling. That was from our Florida trip last year when we went to Cocoa Beach. I smiled and felt the tears start to flow down my cheek. This picture brought back such happy memories. I started crying like crazy, and Forrest pulled me against his chest. I started sobbing, and once again soaked in the moment with Forrest. Everyone in the group watched me, and I felt their long, sorrowful stares. I finally settled down and turned away from Forrest to look at everyone in the group. It's wonderful, I choked. That's good, Forrest said, still eyeing me. Keep it with you always, and you'll remember us. I scowled. What? Did you think I was never coming back? Listen, I started saying, if you think that this is the last time you'll see me, you're wrong. I looked at Forrest, who was very confused. I'm making you all a promise now. When I'm old enough, I am coming back here. Everyone smiled at me, even Carolyn, who had stayed serious this whole time. We continued talking all night until 1 a.m. By then, everyone else had left. I met them at the door and got a huge bear hug from everyone. Nadia left first, followed by Bishop and Sky, Kayla, and finally Karen. Forrest gave me a huge hug, and we were like that for a minute. Finally, his lips met mine. My heart accelerated at the impossible rate, and my arms were locked around his neck, and he crushed me to him. His lips crushed against mine, but I couldn't blame him. This was the last time he'd seen me for a while. We parted too soon, as he slipped his jacket on. He passed me a note, and as he left, I saw a tear brush down his cheek. Carolyn's mom dropped me off at 2 a.m. My dad was asleep by then, so when I got inside, I tiptoed into my room. I sat on my bed and put the picture frame on the floor beside me. I then carefully opened the letter and began to read it. Dear Evelyn, I guess this is it. Won't be seeing you ever again. I wish your father would reconsider taking you away from me, from everyone. There's no other way for me to put this, but I feel it's best for both of us, though we may be hurting inside. It's over between us. I'm sorry, but I can't stand being away from you. I hope to see you again. Then maybe we can make it work again. I'm so sorry, Forrest. I crushed the letter in a ball and threw it away. Tears started running down my cheek as I sobbed my breakup with Forrest over a note. I found these ways a little hard for a girl, because it always meant he still loved her. They just couldn't be together. Eventually my crying ceased down, but the pain was still there. I got tired and I started drifting off into a slumber, but at the moment I made a promise to myself. That's the promise I made to everyone. I was going to come back. So that's chapter 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry at the end it sounded a little funny. Basically, she's just upset. And she doesn't understand why guys have to break up with girls, even when they're moving far away. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. On to chapter 4.